Hello friends, in this video we'll be discussing problem number 2, kuhn-tucker, in which two variables and one constraint. Welcome back friends. Let us discuss problem number 2 on kuhn-tucker, exactly similar to problem number 1. All the steps are written on the board. We just need to fill and get the solution. So let us start quickly. Here my z is this. I want to maximize it. There is a constraint and which is inequality. Therefore, the problem belongs to kuhn-tuckers. If it is mentioned in the exam, use kuhn-tucker, well and good. If it is not mentioned in the exam, this will indicate the problem belongs to kuhn-tucker. So, there are two variables and one constraint. So, these are the 5 kuhn-tucker conditions. The first is dou L upon dou x1 equal to 0. Dou L upon dou x2 equal to 0, lambda times constraint equal to 0, constraint less than equal to 0, and finally x1 x2 greater than equal to 0. And since the problem is maximized, therefore lambda greater than equal to 0. Suppose in the same problem, if it would be minimized, then here lambda is less than equal to 0. 1, 2, 3 are used for calculation, 4 and 5 are used for checking. Calculation of what? X1 and x2. Our aim is to get the value of x1 and x2, so that we can substitute here and we will get the value of z. Let us start. Let us form lambda here. Lambda is my Lagrange's function, which is a objective function minus lambda times constraint. Here the constraint h is 6. I'm going to take that side. So this will come here. That is 3x1 plus 2x2 minus 6. Dou L upon dou x1 equal to 0. Let us differentiate this with respect to x1. So it will be 8. This is 0 minus 2x1. If we differentiate with respect to x1, this is minus 3 lambda equal to 0. This is equation number 1. Next, dou L upon dou x2 is equal to 0. So this is 10. Here it is minus 2x2. Here it is a minus 2 lambda. See here. Minus 2 lambda and x2 derivative is 1. This is 0 and this is 0. This is equation number 2. What next? Equation number 3 is lambda times constraint is equal to 0. So this is lambda times constraint. And this is your constraint. 3x1 plus 2x2 minus 6 equal to 0. This is equation number 3. Next, constraint less than equal to 0. So 3x1 plus 2x2 minus 6 less than equal to 0. This is equation number 4. And finally x1 x2 greater than equal to 0. Since the problem is of maximized size, lambda is greater than equal to 0. As discussed, there will be two cases: lambda equal to 0, lambda not equal to 0. Lambda is equal to 0. Fixed procedure we gonna put in xc. For finding x1 x2 x3 will be using equation number 1, 2 and 3. I cannot solve equation number 3, leave it for some time. Equation number 1 and 2 I can't solve because in equation number 1 and 2 there are 3 unknowns and 2 equations. What are the unknowns? x1, x2 and lambda. Here lambda equal to 0. If I'll substitute in equation number 1 and 2, this will be gone and ultimately I'll be left with the 2 equations. 2 equations, 2 unknowns. So lambda equal to 0, forget about it, and after that it will be 8 minus 2x1 equal to 0 if I'll put in equation number 1, and if I'll put in equation number 2, this will be 10 minus 2x2 equal to 0. So simply x1 will be equal to 4 and x2, 10 will go to that side, will become minus 10, and x2 is 5. We got the value of x1 and x2, but we cannot use it before checking. So we need to check whether the values that we got, x1 and x2, satisfy equation number 4 or 5 or not. If they satisfy, that means this is my required solution and I'm going to put in z to get the solution. So let us check whether 4 and 5 are getting satisfied or not. If I'll put x1 is equal to 4, so this will be 12, x2 as 5, so 12 plus 10, 4 3s are 12, x2 is 5, so 10, 12 plus 10, 22, 22 minus 6. 22 minus 6 is 16, and 16 less than equal to 0. 16 is not less than equal to 0. Equation 4 not satisfied. Therefore reject. Suppose equation 4 satisfied, then we're gonna check phi. If that is also satisfied, then we're gonna check for z. Then we not gonna check for z, we're gonna put in z and get the solution. But here problem is, if you put x1 and x2, 4 and 5, equation 4 not satisfied, therefore we're gonna reject the pair. Suppose if you get a result in case number 1 only, now the next question is, suppose 4 and 5 both satisfied, we'll put here and get the value of z. Now the next question that student thinks is, sir, if we getting answer in case number 1, shall we still solve case number 2? It's not necessary, but it's recommended that you solve both the cases. If you get the answer in 1 also, then also solve case number 2, so that at least you can verify. You will get answer in only one case. If you getting answer in case number 1, obviously case number 2 will be rejected, but try in the exam so that you will be confident that yes, I got the answer in case number 1, case number 2 rejected. That means chances are there that my answer is right. So it's recommended you solve both the cases to get full marks. I don't want any chance to for the examiner to cut the marks, so better you solve both the cases. So anyhow, here case number 1 is not satisfied, it's rejected, so I know I have no option, I have to go for case number 2. Lambda not equal to 0, fixed procedure. Lambda not equal to 0, this clearly indicates this particular lambda not equal to 0, that has to be 0. This has to be 0. Now solving 1, 2 and 4, solve in calculator. X1 value will get is at 4 upon 13, please verify. X2 value will get it as 33 upon 13, and lambda value you will get 32 upon 13. So these are the values that you're going to get by using calculator by solving 1, 2 and 4. Now we're gonna check whether this x1, x2 satisfies of 4 and 5 or not. So let us put x1 and x2 in equation number 4. If you put in 4, so this will be 3 into 4 by 13 plus 2 into 33 by 13 minus 6. If you solve this, this answer is less than equal to 0. You check, you solve this equation and that answer will be less than equal to 0, satisfied. I have already checked this, you can check by yourself. Calculate this, this answer will be less than equal to 0, therefore it will be satisfied. And see here, phi also satisfy. Why? x1, x2 greater than equal to 0, as well as lambda greater than equal to 0. By looking at this, you can say phi also satisfied. All the equations are satisfied, therefore put x1 and x2 in z to get the solution. And if you put x1 and x2 in this particular equation z, the final answer that you're getting is, obviously that is a maximum value, 277 upon 13. No need to check whether it is maxima or minima, it's already provided in the problem. Hope this is clear. We're done with it. Thank you.